So, good afternoon, this is Michelle from Adapt Fitness. We're here at Agila Gym today in Billericay speaking to Cathy, and this interview is part of my series of Are All PTs the Same? So Cathy owns this gym, and we're going to first find out about how she actually started her fitness journey. So Cathy, what actually got you into fitness in the first place?
Well, I'd always been into sport at school, and that I dreamt about being a PE teacher and all that sort of thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Excellent.
And I was on my way to Loughborough because of my sporting achievements in the past, but I still had to finish sixth form.
Oh, right.
And then one day I didn't quite fit into the hierarchy of that learning process. And I remember one day I was like doing some jogging around the school halls, as you do, you know,
Yeah.
and my headmaster sort of put his arm out and was like, we need to talk. So I went in and we sort of decided that it wasn't for me, the sixth form wasn't for me, so therefore I couldn't go to uni and do that. So then I had to figure out another way. So before I went home to tell my parents that I'd been booted out of school, got myself a job in the Wimpy in the high street.
What were you actually going to study at Loughborough then?
I wanted to be a PE teacher, so yeah, so I had to do
Sports science.
well, yes, I think, yeah, is it sports science now? Yeah. Something like that to get into, and then the teacher training.
Yeah.
I think I'd have been a good PE teacher.
I think you would have been a good PE
I think I'd have
teacher.
been good.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I've done some in the past when there's, you know, the naughty kids that don't really fit into school.
Yeah.
Years ago, I don't suppose they're allowed to do it anymore. They just used to get shipped to you on a minibus, and the teacher would sit in the corner, and I'd get the boxing gloves out and the headgear. And the ones with too much of that, I'd be like, right, you get the first punch, and then it's my go, and they'd be like,
But it has been shown, it has been proven that exercise and fitness does actually help with concentration, and it does bring some discipline.
Exactly. I mean, back in the day, I remember our maths room used to back onto the netball courts at school, and I'd be in maths, and I was never like a bad kid, but I was just a bit maybe ADHD, I don't know.
Extra.
Yeah, well, could do better. But and I remember my maths teacher used to say, Catherine, go outside, just I can see you. And he'd send me, and I'd jog around the netball courts so he could always see me. Of course, they wouldn't be able to do that nowadays, would they? And I'd come back in,
And would you feel
and I'd be
calmer?
as good as gold.
Yeah.
Because I just got the attention span of a guppy, I think.
I don't think they take that into. I think, well, definitely when I was at school, my lessons were a lot longer. But with my daughter now, the lessons are a lot shorter.
Yeah, so they maybe
I
recognise that
think
now.
they've recognised that,
Yeah.
So you started working in the Wimpy.
Got a job in a Wimpy,
Yeah.
and obviously
Not the best place
no.
for a fitness.
I did quite like making a Knickerbocker Glories though, that was quite nice. And then decided I wanted to be a dancer. I thought I was going to be famous.
Yeah.
I applied to EastEnders. You know, you need a fitness place on there, and they did. In the end, the brothers got a Walford Gym or whatever, didn't they?
Yes.
So I wrote in again. You need a fitness instructor, because years later I was a fitness. I thought I was going to be like, you know, famous. It never worked out. So I was putting together all my dance audition stuff.
Excellent.
And didn't have any money, so I kept using the Pineapple Studios,
Oh right, yeah.
and I racked up a fair amount of debt.
Oh.
And this is the greatest story. So I was in there ready to do some of my, just getting ready for my dance auditions and stuff like that, and in comes some of the management. We need you to teach a class next door. There's an aerobics class next door, and you've got to teach it. And I'm like, excuse me?
You might have been my aerobics instructor.
Oh,
to
God.
go to the field.
Oh God, probably. I've met a couple of other people, and they're like, you look very familiar, and I'm like, oh no. But so I was like, what are you talking about? And they went, well, the way we see it is you owe us a couple of £100, which when I was 17, was I 17? I was like, and they said, so if you help us out on this, it's a full class, just go in there. And I said, what am I going to do? And they went, well, just prance about a bit, you know, make them sweat, and that's it. And I was like, I'm pretty sure there's more to it than that,
Yeah.
but they said, well, we'll clear your debt.
Excellent.
Got my cassette out.
Yeah.
I was in there, I was like, I'm your instructor for the day. And it was a blast. It was a real blast. It was over 30, like, I thought middle-aged, but they were probably like mid-20s, late 20s. When you're a kid, you just think, you know.
Everybody looks older.
But a lot of them come up to me at the end of class, and because I explained to them, I've never done this before. At the end of the day, I want to be a
It was all
dancer.
new, wasn't it then? Aerobics, you had to
Well, it
jump
was
on
back in the
and that was
sweat
it.
box, and it was, you know, and I taught sweat box after that for years. It was like the real high intensity. You've got to be a bit not quite straight in the head to teach it.
Crazy.
But the people that I thought were quite sort of old come up to me at the end, and they said, if anyone's, you know, sort of supposed to do this, it's you. You should look into it.
That's a great accolade, though, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and it is, you know, and I thought,
studio.
well, the clients, not yet, but so that is basically how I got into teaching. And then because I was teaching so much, I started teaching in all different places, halls, and then there used to be a little old gym called Pumping Iron in Brentwood. Do you remember Pumping Iron? Well, Malcolm, I tell you, that's where I met Malcolm Brown. But great little gym. It's probably a third of the size of this. The equipment was terrible. There were literally, it's a concrete floor with craters out of it. It really was spit and sawdust. But the atmosphere and the community in there was just like amazing. So I started training there to sort of help out. I taught there. We used to move the equipment around and create like a studio space and teach aerobics in there, like high knee impact aerobics on a concrete floor. It's crazy stuff. But and then I got into the training. And that's how I first got into gym training, and my body just responded. I don't know if it's because I did a lot of trampoline gymnastics when I was a kid, but my muscles just responded well to it.
Yeah, some people do though, don't they? Very, very quickly.
Just picked it up, and then people had, you know, I'm just very inquisitive. I love to know, ask questions. I've never been shy, obviously, but sort of go up to people and like, what's that doing, and why are you doing it like that? And these big old lumps, well, try this, love, and come on, darling. And I wasn't put off by any of it, and I love the way it felt, you know, the squatting and the lunging with weight on, and then just watching my body change. I was fairly lean and muscular anyway. It's just how I was lucky. But you can still sculpt, you know, sculpt your body. It changed so quick that it was buzzy. And then obviously you want everybody else to get that, don't you?
Well, you do. If you're so passionate about it, and you want to pass that on, don't you?
Yeah.
To people that you train.
You get it. It's so buzzy. You know, life's quite tough, isn't it? Well, I didn't know that back then, but life's quite tough, isn't it? And the people that don't train, you're like, what do you do as a release then? There's a pressure valve somewhere. You've got to do something to let that pressure out, surely. Do you know what I mean? So I don't quite get it in my head, people that don't enjoy training of some description, something.
I think that sometimes they just don't know what they like, or they have an impression that bodybuilders are a certain way, or you know, if you have to dance, you've got to look a certain type, you've got to believe and things like that. When actually, you know, sort of natural competency counts for a lot. Well,
going back to the sort of gym ethos bit, is I personally think a lot of people get into fitness because some of these big branded clubs have got massive marketing budgets, and all these people get sucked into it. But the customer service after that point of like, you're signed in now on direct debit for 12 months, we're getting your money, and then that's it. Now you're on your own, love.
Yes.
And then those poor people still got to pay their money for a year, get no support. It puts them off fitness, and then they think, nothing against them, but they just assume that all the clubs are going to be the same. You sort of think, no, wherever you live in the world, source out a little muscle gym somewhere, because that's where you want to go for the support, the knowledge, and the passion. And I need to serve someone right now. Do you want your shake? Well, but the keys or anything? Yeah.
Please, thank you.
See you later.
See you.
Next week. Have a good weekend.
See you later.
Bye.
So you like?
Oh, sorry, I went off on a tangent there.
No, that's absolutely.
Let's come back, right? Let's come back.
So you saw your body responding to the training. You started to sculpt it.
Loved it, and all of a sudden my ideas of being a dancer just.
What was that? Dance?
I know. You started to think, well, I love teaching, still teach now, so I think I've been teaching for 37 years now. It's giving me age away a bit, but and I just love training, and I love training other people, and I love other people that didn't think, I'm not sure if it's for me, and then you turn it round and you see that excitement on their face where they've started off at 2 kilos and now they're doing 6. And you think, what? That doesn't sound like a big difference, but it does. It does, doesn't it? And that, that's brilliant.
Your history as well. So you've competed as well in competitions.
Yeah.
Was that something that you really enjoyed? Was it an experience?
Yeah, I think. Even as a little, and my mum they'd take us down to Margate for our holidays, you know, and I'd be up there on the talent show, could do me Frank Spencer impersonations in front of an audience of thousands as a tiny little tot. So, you know, I've never been shy when it comes to that sort of thing. And but anyway, we was in the gym and some of the older blokes were talking about doing shows. I was like, what are you talking about, you know? And they explained, well, you get yourself dieted down, stick a bikini on in your case, you know, hopefully not them, but, you know, whatever. We never know. And get yourself on stage, you know, have a routine, learn your poses, and then you get judged. And I thought, yeah. And I was like, well, when's, yeah, all right, I'll give it a go. And they went, well, the next one's in, I forget now, I'll probably get this timing wrong, but I think I had about 7 weeks to prep for it. And, yeah, stick my name down, go on, I'll do it. And I did. Malcolm Brown, that we spoke about earlier, he helped me out with some of the training and got me tan done, and off I went. And again, the thing is, I went on stage, there wasn't really, nowadays I know there's a lot of this is what's going to happen, and then you're going to do this, and you're going to... Back then it was like, there's your number, pin it on, and off you go. So when all the other girls went on stage, I just followed suit, stood at the back and started hitting all my poses. They were just standing there like that going, what are you doing? And I'm like, yeah. So I've got the audience, give it number 9. I think it was number 9. And I had them in the palm of my hand. So of course, now I've got the judge's attention. It was completely, it wasn't staged. I just didn't know what I was doing. I thought I was supposed to, yes, I'm on stage now, hit the poses. Everybody else is like, so yeah, and I suppose having that sort of stage presence.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I've done it before, or because I've been teaching already. I don't know. So, I guess going out on stage, if you haven't done anything like that before, it's probably a bit daunting, in which case you're going to stiffen up, and you might have had a better body than me, but no one's going to see it, are they?
You've got to learn how to show it.
Yeah, you have, and you've got to hit, and I guess from the dancing and gymnastics and all that sort of thing, I could move my body, stuff like that, you know, and when I did my routines, I could throw out backflips and full splits and chucked a few in there for good measure, do you know what I mean? No videos, unfortunately, so nothing to look back. Got a few pictures, but none of that really to look back on. None of the other girls had all that, so I guess that sort of tipped the scales a bit.
Definitely.
But that took me to the Britons sort of later that year, not long after. Again, Malcolm helped me out. And it was a different ball game there, sort of behind stage, and I had a little bit more of an inkling of what to do. But the girls there were pumping up and doing all sorts of things that I was like, what's this about? And some of the girls were like big. And I was looking around thinking, I don't want to look like that anyway. I'm into teaching. I love training people in the gym. I feel that I need to look a certain way to encourage and also for people to think, well, I want a bit of that, and it's achievable.
It's achievable. It's achievable. Aspirations.
Exactly. You sort of think some of these girls that I was competing, they were huge and a little bit manly. And you sort of think, I don't take anything away from them because it's a lot of work. It's just not what I wanted to look like. And I guess I hadn't thought about the long term about competing over and over again. I got carried away with the whole wave of it, you know. But apparently, when I went out on stage, an unofficial fourth or whatever, but the people that come to support me sort of said you could tell as soon as you walked out on stage that you were like, this is not for me. Yeah, not for me. Sorry, you're right there, Paul. You do yourself? So it used to work here, it's fine. Yeah, bless him.
So that was it. That was the end of your competing career then, was it?
Yeah. So what was because in '88 I had my first child, and then I had another one, and then I had a few more, and a couple more after that. So no, I ended up I've had 7 children. But more importantly than that, I think, is that I opened the gym in 1992. And it's the biggest baby I've got out of all of them. It'll always be a baby, won't it?
So why did you actually want to open the gym though?
Because I had really fond memories of that dear old gym in Brentwood, and then anyone else that went there would have that in fond memories as well. There was something really special because it was small, because it was everyone that sort of worked there, you know, if something was broken, one of the blokes that come in there was a bit of a trade, and he'd be like, oh, I've got nuts and bolts for that, and it had that spirit about it. And then when I started as personal training, obviously I was teaching a lot. I think back in the day I was teaching 26 classes a week. So physically your body's like giving it, whoa! Do you know what I mean? So then you've got to find another way of earning money. Gym instructors aren't paid very well. So then you've got to go down the route of what qualifications do I need to make this official, or do I need to get to become a good PT? I've got the knowledge, I know how to train myself,
You've got
but
the
then
passion as well.
got the passion, but then there's more to it. You need to know the anatomy so that you know I can take on pretty much any client, and her anatomy is going to be different to yours, mine, anybody else that I've trained probably. So the exercise routine has to be made for her, you know, because her anatomy is not the same as mine. Her arms are a different length, or, you know, whatever. So that was important to get whatever qualifications were necessary to sort of to enhance that. Anyway, doing that out on the track of teaching and doing PT, I worked in so many different places, sports halls. I taught 200 people in sports halls doing sweat box, which was great from a money point of view, £2 a head. When I was 17 and a half, earning that sort of money. But could I instruct them properly, really? 200 people?
No.
You can't, you know, you had to employ spotters around the room, but were they completely safe doing sweatbox aerobics en masse like that? Not really, no. So then I'm not giving them the service that they deserve. So anyway, I decided that one day it would be my dream to have my own gym, so that I could teach out of it, I could PT out of it, and I wanted, I guess going back to good old pumping iron, I wanted it to be authentic. Not, this is not quite spit and sawdust, it's a clean version with the rubber floors, and the ladies that work here, they go, there's a lot of cleaning here. There is a lot of cleaning, but essentially it is a bodybuilder's gym. Well, it's a family-run gym that caters for bodybuilders.
But also for other people though as well, because there's a really nice vibe here.
Yeah.
And you have a whole range of customers that come in from very young to very old.
Exactly. Yeah, I think our youngest ones we allow to start at 13, depending on their ability, their physique, and if they've got print, you know, sometimes they come with their parents, and that's fine. We're happy with that. And then our eldest, I think, is 85 this year.
Brilliant.
Which is fantastic. So that is, and we've got people that come from all walks of life, got different levels of financial wealth or whatever, and everyone, there should be no status in a gym.
No,
there should be no status at all. So you could have a lawyer training with, hello darling, have a lawyer training with someone that works in a factory, for instance, and there's, it doesn't matter, because you're still pressing, you're still doing natural raise, and that is what this is about.
So what do you want to, what's your ethos for the gym? I mean, what do you want your clients to feel, your customers to feel when they walk out of this gym? What do you want them to feel?
Well, see you later, Jeff. I want them to, you know, everyone, and our customers do say, I mean, Jeff has just left, so I've been here, so 26 years, I think he's been here 24, and one of his sons trains here now, and he was baby in arms when we used to have a creche back in the day. So that's, and at one point they've moved away now, but we had 4 generations of one family in there at the same time, that's what it should all be about, that they all feel comfortable, you know, great nan and granddad, training with nan and granddad, and the granddaughter's a personal trainer, a friend of mine, and then, do you know what I mean? And it just goes boom, 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 boom. You sort of think, where else do you get that? Or we get people that move away, or whatever, or leave for whatever reason. They might want to do the rounds, or, you know, whatever reason. People need change sometimes. They walk in, oh, right, Rob, how you been? I haven't seen you for, how long's it been? And it'd be like, 8 years, how do you remember my name? And you sort of think, I'm not being, might sound a bit cheesy, but remember your name, because everyone that comes in here is important. Every single person that comes in here, and that's why we remember your name, because you used to pay us money month in, month out, and you'll get to know each other, and if they're married or if they've got kids, or maybe one of the little ones has not been well, and you'll get involved, and I mean, Ed, that was here earlier, unfortunately, was a really good competitive bodybuilder, had an accident, spinal injury, and as you saw, was in a wheelchair now. He was diagnosed, still in Stoke Mandeville, it happened abroad, and we decided, you know, it was all up in the air whether insurance would help him out and blah, 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 blah. So just to take a bit of weight off his mind, I said to Wayne, let's try and raise a bit of money. So 2 weeks later, we had a charity event for Ed, and we raised over 10 grand. Just out of Agila members doing 6 hours, was it 6? Oh no, I'm bigging myself up, 3 hours sponsored aerobics. Doubled it up, look at that. 3 hours sponsored aerobics. We had a couple of guys, a couple of members doing 2 or 3 hours. They might have done actually more. I think they probably did more. 4 hours, I think 4 hours on the cross trainers.
Oh, yeah.
So where they work, they got sponsored for that. It's just everyone got involved. Members made things. We had a raffle out there. People come in, people on the estate giving us things. Amazing. You're not going to get that at one of them branded gyms.
Well, look, speaking of branded gyms, you've got one at the end of the corner, but it doesn't seem to have affected your membership here.
No, I think right in the beginning there was us and there was a club in Kingswood. Club in Kingswood? Well, it is in Kingswood. It's called Kingswood and it's Kingswood Basildon. And when I first opened, they were there. It's a privately owned, but a few people involved in it. And if we got loads of lycra brigade in here, I go, you know, they do a lot more classes and I think you might be better off over there. And if they got some of the beefier ones, they go, Agila's got more weights than us, I think, and we worked together. But then unfortunately over the years, all the big boys, bang, bang, bang. So I think I don't know what a mile radius that is between us and them, but I'd say there's at least 20 clubs now.
Well, there's
gone from 2.
I think you've got 3 around here, around yourself.
Well, we've got Stockbrook, it's a golf and country club, that's for ladies at lunch, but you know, that's how it works for them, then that's fine, they wouldn't like it here anyway. So it's not competition as far as I'm concerned. Then you've got the one at the end of the road, which is huge, owned by a financial company. Again, they'll take $19.99 a month. There's a reason it's cheap. But anyway.
There's no instructors there.
There's not. Well, the instructors that are there are being paid to personal train somebody else. So, unfortunately, they don't give a monkey's what you're doing over there. So you could be hurting yourself. In fact, I've heard some horror stories. We won't go into that. But so they're there. Again, it's a lot of people that probably work in the city and they want to go on a cross train or whatever.
They just want to say they go to the gym.
Well, they probably do train hard in their sort of fitness bit, but they perhaps don't think that they're into weights because they've already got this mindset that weights is only a certain thing, which it's obviously, as you and I know, it's not. But and then because they're into that sort of fitness bit, I need to stay fit, then this probably wouldn't appeal to them anyway because it's a bit too serious for them. It's not, but it's trying to get them in here for them to, after a few times they'll be like, damn, what did I go down there for? Waste all my time, because I've been here for 3 weeks and I've learnt more in 3 weeks than I have in 3 years down there, but it's getting them in because they've already made that decision. That's the bodybuilder's gym. And I don't know who's, bodybuilders are, everyone that goes in there is on steroids or, definitely drug dealers, and you sort of think, well, no, they look like that because they train 5-6 times a week. Some of them train twice a day. They eat out of Tupperwares 6 or 7 times a day. They don't drink, they don't smoke, they don't do drugs because it's counterproductive to all the hard work they do. They live it. They don't go out to nightclubs and everything else because they're at home in bed ready to train the next day. Please don't take that away from them by saying they must be taking loads of steroids. I've never taken a drug in my life. I've got one kidney. I have to be careful if I even take paracetamol. So, and I've got a fairly big gun. With a little bit left. Swim or die. So yeah, but trying to get that. But again, if somebody said to me, well, if you did an advertising campaign the same as they do, you'd get loads of new members, and you sort of think, but that's probably at a cost of 5 or 6 grand. And I might get 100 new members, but how am I going to look after 100 new members? Just 5 of us on our team. How are we going to do that and get to know what their name is and who they're married to and what they need? We can't physically do it. So for that reason, I'm not going to do it. And if I had 6 grand to spare, I'd buy another machine that the rest of my members want.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, right in the beginning, there was loads of money to be made. But nowadays, you know, we've got our membership set. It doesn't mean another 4 clubs could open up, but our people are not tempted by anyone else anyway. So we've got enough.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We tick along, we earn a living. I don't really come to work. This has always been my work since I was 17.
Yeah.
So I'm blessed, and just me.
How do you actually keep your passion going then? It's been so long.
Well, Ed, for instance, you're never going to walk again, mate. So he did go for loads of rehab training miles away. He was getting charged £85 a session, 3/4 of an hour, right over Gatwick Way, in that position. And in the end, he said to me, "Cath, can you do this?" I said, "Well, you know, I'm a gym instructor. You know, I'm not a spinal rehab specialist." He went, "Well, get to be one then." Okay, fair comment. I mean, officially I'm not, but I nerded out, as I do, glasses on,
Yeah.
get to know as much as I can. And essentially, I have an assistant that helps me, obviously, because he's 17 odd stones. I can't physically, you know, manoeuvre him on my own. But we are getting him, so we're bracing him, but now he's doing assisted squats.
Excellent.
4 sets of assisted squats. And I can get him to do leg curl. You know, we have to control, there's all sorts of weird things happen with your legs when you can't feel them, they sort of go all over the place. But he's getting that sort of mobility back. So anyways, goes back to Stoke Mandeville for these tests, you know, now and again. If he's improved to a certain degree, they'll take him back in there for some intensive rehab physio. Obviously that is the epicentre for that.
Yeah.
That is just gold. It's a lot of money, obviously, so you've got to show that there's progression. And I said to him months ago now, like, I think you should go back, Ed. Your legs are doing things that they weren't doing before. You've got to trust me on this. Okay, he says, because without sounding weird, he can't feel that, can he?
No.
So he goes back, and sure enough, they said, yeah, you can come back and have a bed for a month and do some intensive
It's amazing.
physio. That,
Yeah.
I mean, I've helped a lot of people lose weight and get toned, but that,
That's gold dust.
and then I see him doing stuff, or he does it, and it brings a tear to your eye.
Definitely.
Some of the things, even the big, you know, I might see some big blokes in here, and then we'll do something with Ed, and they'll be, you can see him like giving it, right? And then everyone goes back to training.
Yeah.
And you sort of think, that's all that knowledge, what is it? How long have I been doing it? 36 years, 37 years? I think that's what it's about.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's about. Or I've had other ladies that are supremely overweight, and they're quiet, timid, no confidence, and you really do have to
You have to love them,
big
don't you?
padded gloves on and just slowly, and then you see them blossom into like, and then years later, because it's not overnight, is it?
No.
Years later, they're all right, and they come strutting in, and you're like, I played a part in that.
Yeah. You change their lives.
Well, yeah, and maybe, you know, diabetics that are no longer, well, they are still diabetic, but they're controlled through diet. I did that.
Yeah.
You know, we've got people that are blind, fully blind, but they're held. Us, if we're busy, the members help manoeuvre them around the gym, still doing it.
Amazing.
That, do you know what I mean? You think that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And again, coming back to this little community gym, it's what other members see. It's more like a community club covered here, Cath. And it is, isn't it? That's what it's all about, isn't it? Everyone can do something.
You actually feel very safe here.
Yeah.
Very safe, very comfortable, especially being a female going into a bodybuilding gym. Sometimes it can be quite intimidating.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. But I don't think. Sorry, I can't take us a quick swig. My throat's not used to talking so much.
I believe that.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, obviously, now and again you might get the odd oik, but they stand out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
Because nobody else is like that here.
No.
Everyone is genuine and sweet and passionate about their training. Even if they started off not that way, I just need to lose weight. they're soon, because they're encouraged and you get carried away
You do.
on the wave of everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, so you've got overweight ladies or whatever. I've got very underweight ladies, and they're training in amongst all the guys with the boulder shoulders, and they're picking up tips, or they do something wrong, and the guys they've never met before, that are the members, not necessarily trainers, going, oh no, you know, and they'll look across and this is the way I do it.
Yeah.
And it's that sort of spirit, yeah. And I think that's why it becomes comfortable, because you might now and again get an oik, it doesn't quite fit in, and they're not here long.
No.
And it's not necessarily comes from us. You know, if they leave their weights out, for instance, it's very rare that we have to get involved, because the members will go, put them away, mate. Like, you know, it's untidy. And they go, and they're not used to, because you can go to a club and people don't normally care.
No, that's right.
You sort of
They
think,
don't, just leave them alone.
you know, it's almost like my name's above the door, but that's where it ends. This belongs to everyone that comes in here, really.
So what do you think about the craze, or the last couple of years it seemed that people can qualify to be a personal trainer in 12 weeks. There's these intensive courses and PTs are being churned out.
Yeah, shocking. I've heard of personal trainers whose qualification doesn't exist outside the walls of the club that they're teaching in.
Yeah.
How frightening is that?
Yeah.
How frightening is that? I had a guy years ago now, there's a different brand on the door at the time. He walked down in here and he looked all a bit huffy, you know. I was like, can I help you, mate? He was like, yeah, you can. I've just been up the road. And I was like, okay, do you want to take a seat? He looked really, you know. And I said, oh, crikey, you've obviously got a terrible knee. He was like, yes, thank you. And I was like, well, take a seat. Explain. He went, well, I went down there for some rehab. And it's clear, I mean, the scar across his knee was 12 inches long and bright purple. And it's killing me now. It clearly, and I said, is this the right sort of rehab training after my surgery? And the instructor turned around and went, sorry, what surgery is that? Oh, God. But, I mean, that's a severe case. I could tell you a million of stories like that. But generally, you see it, you know, and I've seen, well, you get the videos, don't you, on Facebook or social media of the instructor going on their phone, you know, they got their phone and they're keeping up with they're going, four more, or they're in the mirror giving it, checking out themselves, and you think, no.
Or filming their clients doing something without actually...
I mean, I have got certain clients that I will do something. I go, do you mind if we just do that again? Now you're finished.
Trust them though.
Yeah. And this is what I want to show, because I'm going to keep telling you all the stuff that I know that you know, but I want to put it out there on social media, because there might be other people out there that are paying terrible personal trainers doing a similar exercise, or what they think is the same exercise, but then they'll see it and think, well, I don't do it like that. My knees are going forward, and she clearly said keep your knees back, otherwise you're gonna, and I'll try and explain you need to be in this position, because in the end that weight is going to come into the back of the kneecap and blah blah blah. Try and explain to a layman why I'm asking you to do that. So that those people out there might be going, well, I do squats and that's why my knees are hurting, so I've never been told that. So hopefully these little instructional ones, so if I am filming my clients who are friends' clients, it's for that reason, to put it out there, free of charge as well. What is it all this? Oh, terrible, and these people are going to know exactly what I'm talking about. I've got to know about these people that are doing these 12-week challenges. It's like my clients laugh, because you sort of think, if you want to wind me up,
They talk about
there you go.
program.
Oh, you're like, all right, yes, well done. I can take anyone and transform their body from being someone that sits on the settee eating crisps and donuts to someone that's looking half decent with their abs out under good light for one afternoon. I want to see what they look like in 4 months' time.
Yeah, definitely.
Because yo-yo exercise is just as disastrous, if not worse, than yo-yo dieting.
But there's no aftercare, is there?
There's no aftercare.
12 weeks.
And why is there no aftercare? Because there's no bloody knowledge there in the first place.
There's no money in it, is there?
Well, no, and there is if they try and spin out you've got to do this drink system to go alongside it to get the best results. Oh, are you a rep for that, are you, by any chance? Do you know what I mean? But there's people out there, they want that quick fix.
Yeah.
Or they're already working. I've got a dear client of mine, she works really hard. She just wants that last little bit.
Yeah.
So for years I've said, you need to sort your diet out and stop drinking alcohol. Yeah, I know. You need to be eating every 3 hours, portion control, and drop out the alcohol. Yeah. So she's gone on this thing, and I was like, I said, you broke my heart. But anyway, and but she's following the eating. So I don't know why you couldn't have done it when I asked you to do it, but either way she's doing it now, and she's seeing the results. I said, please remember, you've done all that groundwork, and you would have got those results anyway. So please don't think it's down to that.
Yeah.
And if you write in, so this is the bit that's going to finalise who we're talking about. You write in if you've got a question about the exercise they're throwing out or the nutrition. You've got to say, dear legend. Legend. I've seen, show me the pictures of these people, show me. So she, well, this is a local lady. And I went, well, if I had that amount of cellulite on my legs at the age of 53, any day of the year, 365 days of the year, so I'd be mortified.
Yeah.
And that's the best she's ever looked on her photo shoot. Legend. I'll show Malcolm Brown, a dear friend of ours, been in the industry. Kimberly Ann Jones. They're legends.
Yeah.
They're the legends that've been in it since the 80s. Passionate, the knowledge, the passion, the achievements. Yeah, they've been in the gym. Gyms, like this. There's nothing wrong with this gym, but none of the fancy places, the whirlpools and the saunas after. Do you know what I mean? That sort of. And they've done that day in, day out, and they've done their dieting. And all we could line all of us people up that are passionate about it. I've trained clients before now for no money at all.
Yeah.
Just because they didn't have any,
Yeah.
but they needed the help.
Yeah.
So you still think, well, can you make it at like 12:15? Because I haven't got anyone, and I can make it down. Well, yeah. And you give them the same knowledge and service as whoever's paying you.
You know, part of the services as a gym owner as well, because you want the people to come in, but you also want them to be safe, have a good session, to walk out here feeling happy.
Definitely, and to achieve that, and it takes a long time, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So you've got to watch their progression. You start them off on the basics, and when you can see that they're now moving around the gym without a piece of paper, and you sort of think, I think we're ready for it. And it might only be 20 minutes to show 3 new exercises. That's enough, right? Add that on. Do you want me to email that to you, write it down, or yes, please? And then you see them back with their piece of paper, and then you wait for the next time. You spot them, and the paper's gone. Right, another 3, and that's how it grows. There's no money. They just paid their £5 to get in. They could go and join another club tomorrow.
They could, but for either less money, because some of them are like $14.99 a month now.
Yeah, which you can't compete. But if we could do it for $14.99 a month, we would. But you can't. You physically can't pay the bills on that because, they churn out thousands. See you later, Paul. They churn out thousands of members, half of which don't go.
That's right.
Or they've got a footprint of once a week.
Yeah.
Our members are in, like I said earlier, 5-6 times a week, twice a day. So we couldn't accommodate thousands of members anyway.
No, that's right.
So you've got to however members you've got to try and cover your costs, and have enough to get yourself a new rack of dumbbells after a little while, or get yourself a new bike.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's so you want to be able to, it's not about the numbers. I don't think it's about the numbers.
No, I think it's about satisfaction.
It's quality of service of what you're offering. We're offering a service. It's a public service, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's why we're open all those hours, very unsociable hours. But you put the time in because you're giving a service, aren't you? And that's unfortunately those other clubs and that they're just in it for the money. The trainers are just in it for the money, and I don't think there is a care package afterwards. I've got old clients that have moved away. I mentioned one earlier. She lives not a million miles away, but she lives in Norwich now. On the phone, asking me different questions, and the replies go back, or FaceTime or whatever if necessary. There's no money, but there's that care package for years later. Or another lady come in, she's hurt her knee, been still physios, blah blah blah, it's still hurting. She goes to a completely different rival club, actually on my doorstep. Kath, do you mind? I was like, of course, like, I'm behind reception, so you'll have to come in reception and I'll do it, you know, whilst I'm serving people or whatever. God knows what I believed the problem was. Gave us some exercises and stretches to do at home, and within 3 weeks, thanks Cathy, like I can wait there, I can do everything now. And she pays her money to a rival club like 100 yards up the road from me.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
Do you want money for that, Kath? No. I want to see you walking properly because you've got little kids to look after. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So what's next for you, and what's next for the gym?
Oh, well, yeah, I know. I would love to get a bit bigger, make it a bit bigger. Comes down to money. My dear husband's like, do you really want to invest a load of more money at your, you know, at my age? Because like I'm an OAP now. But you know, it's a big undertaking because I've never been one to borrow money. So it is all about saving and going without. We don't go on holidays and stuff like that because any money we've got, we put back into the club. I didn't start off with loads of money. Started off with a very small amount of money and built up gradually. And yeah, you can't compete with these great big chains. Like I'll never be able to afford to have 20 treadmills, but my clientele don't need 20 treadmills. We've got 6 or 7, but the rest of the gear, you know, I'd like to double my free weight area, and there's a few machines missing that we know are missing. Other people wouldn't realise they're missing, or they make do with something else and try and use it that way. But you can always do with more cables and a bit more cardio and a bit more space. We used to have a big studio. Yeah. I'd love to have a big studio again, because again, I've got lots of friends that are really good instructors, really good. But they teach in other clubs because their studios are bigger. Yeah. And take one phone call, got a big studio now, boom. Because they'd be properly treated, because I am one of them. Yeah. I'm not a management bod that's just going to, well, I've cancelled your class, love, sorry, there's not enough people. I've got childcare and, oh well, you know, that's the industry. And you think, no, it's not. That's not the industry. Do you know what I mean? So for that sort of reason, I'd love to have that. Because obviously the clients that go to those classes, they go there for the instructor, not because of the name above the door.
No, that's right, it's the class and the instructor.
It's the instructor. It's about that knowledge and that personality and that, you know, that the friendships that you get. Because obviously you do. Ladies love to work out together, don't they? So sociable. Yeah. Exactly. Have a laugh, swear, moan about the husbands, you know. All the youngsters are like, oh, learning curve. I go, sorry girls, massive learning curve in here. But so they're going to follow the instructor, and then they come to somebody like this because I've got a big student. They're like, wow, this gym's not what I thought it was. And then you can get them into the weight side of it. Bob's your uncle, everyone's a winner. Yeah. So that is what I would love to do. Yeah. I'd love to get a bit bigger. Whether I do or not, got even my accountants like, you've got to be doing it for the right reasons. Right reasons is with my heart, not necessarily with my head. So that's why you have professionals to try and sort of, I'm a typical Pisces, calm down, feet on the ground, okay, let's talk. But yeah, because you're passionate, aren't you? You know, I sort of know that I've got some great friends that are amazing boxing instructors and stuff like that. So to give them a facility that was big enough for them.
It's giving them a helping hand as well, isn't it?
Exactly, you know, because they are so good and they're having to training, you know, I've got brilliant kickboxing classes here on a Saturday, and they manage in our little studio, and if it's a nice enough day they do some of their fitness stuff outside. Brilliant. That's old school. That's people that really want to get fit and transform themselves and that. But to give them a better facility as well would be just all under one roof, because there's so many lovely people out there that deserve better than what they're getting in the bigger places. And you sort of think that would be nice if we could give them all out under one roof, you know.
So what's going to be your legacy? So do you ever see yourself retiring, or?
Well, no. I've got ladies that come to my classes in their mid-60s or whatever, you know, put me to shame half the time. And then they go, what are you going to do, Kath? You know, I said, well, you know, none of us are getting any younger, but maybe the youngsters will come in and we'll move to 10:30 class, you know, and we'll do it from a chair, you know. But you just have to be the best. At the minute, I'm being the best 53 I can be, and then I'll be the best 55, and I'm skipping years now. And then I can't see why not. I mean, going back to, we've got members in their 80s going out on bike rides that I just sort of think, really? Cycling to Clacton and back, you're like, well, it's a nice day. Oh, okay. But because they've always done it, they just, they might be a bit slower than they used to be, but they're still doing it. Why not? If your body's allowing you to do it, and because you're doing it, your body's allowing you to do it. So it's like, see you later, Mark. It's that chicken. Is it chicken leg?
Yeah.
Is it the hamster's wheel? It's one thing's giving you the other thing, and then it just keeps going like that. So obviously we get older, and my shoulder's a bit buggered. So I do what I can for my shoulders. Hello, love. Thank you. Is it two of us? Is it? Yeah. I've forgotten what I was saying now. Yeah, so am I going to retire? No. No,
hopefully not anyway.
Well, because I'm sure, even if I get a bit old and doddery and forget what I'm doing, no. There's always going to be clients out there that are going to be of a similar age to me. So hopefully you can still inspire.
Definitely.
All the others will have been up, poor old girl, like, should put her out to pasture yet. But hopefully there's still people out there that would be comfortable, because maybe they'd be in their 60s as well. So to find a personal trainer that's also in her 60s that understands after menopause and blah, 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 because you've got so much more in common, maybe you can still be inspirational to someone. So I can't see a reason why you'd have to sort of hang my trainers up. hang up my boob tube. No, it's gone, long gone.
Spangy one.
Yeah. I've still got my leg walls on though.
Yeah.
Still wrecking it.
Pineapple girl walls.
Well, this is it. I think they've even got that on the front, have they? They have.
There you go.
Yes, so no, I don't think I'd ever retire.
Well, I'd like to thank you as a member of this gym, even though I am only pay as you go, for a great gym. I love training here anyway. And I'd just like to thank you for your time this afternoon.
You're welcome.
Thank
You run out of film.